We will see. We'll see how it goes in the future.
Yes. Imagine keeping to a schedule.
I don't go by schedules. I go by
Same,
funny
but
ones.
that doesn't actually make me keep to the schedule.
I'm sorry, we're supposed to keep to a schedule? What is
What
this?
madness is this? Yeah. I mean, I'm already managing glitchies, so that gives you enough of an idea right there.
What does not manage glitch?
Glitchy, if you're watching this, I love you. Also, remember you have to upload a short yesterday.
She didn't, did she?
Of course not.
And I know how we can feel a little bit less lonely. There, the Blahaj is now playing with us. Yeah, the Blahaj is now playing with us. Hello.
Begin dance.
I will accept bribes to watch chat for with gummy worms. as arson. Is it the screen?
I don't know what it is about swapping over to the live play scenes. It likes to disconnect my microphone.
That is weird.
Thank you for
Oh,
letting us
that's
know,
what
Lai
happened.
Lai. So,
Although,
I have to redo all of that. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna fucking die. Oh. Okay, so starting from scratch.
Suggestion for future live plays.
Check that? Yes,
Well,
please.
One of us has to make sure to remind Alice to check that.
There's always some kind of scuff when I do this. It kills me.
You
we're
think I'm gonna remember?
VTubers. What scuff is our natural element?
We are vendors of scuff.
Van, I know you may disagree with this, but on principle alone, VTubers are virus-type Digimon.
I mean, yeah, that's generally true.
It's all that scuff. It's all that scuff. All right, so starting from the beginning. First off, you'll notice that there is no Iffy. Iffy has had to step away due to personal things with ignore that, with trying to get a better sleep schedule. So unfortunately, she has had to step out. She may come back and join us at some point. The invitation will always be open to her, but unfortunately for now, she will be stepping out. Was there any other announcements I had made before? I don't remember.
I can't remember now either.
Well, if there were, they must not have been important.
Something dark side.
Something complete. Anyway, so last session, to redo the recap very, very quickly, in the middle of your long rest, the town had fallen under siege. You were very quick to respond to the demonic warriors as well as the demon wolves. And during your encounters, you came across an enemy commander named Dartol, who you had actually wiped the floor with fairly quickly. As you prepared to kill Dartol, you were interrupted by a man named Gilfer, who had very much made those of you with acute instincts paranoid and understand that that man is a threat. So with that, you had agreed to his terms that he will end the siege as long as you let Dartol live. Dartol, not very happy about this, went along, however. Rex had run off in the middle of all this due to his instincts from Gilfer as well as the flames that were around. He came across figures from his past who had... One had a not-so-fond interaction, while the other seemed favorably memorable to Rex. The next morning, Rex was well-spoken and polite, almost like a very different person. Even Autumn, his little fae, was very confused. You then were told by the guild clerk, who had been very nice, that the mayor's office is currently acting as the guild hall, and that you should come and visit at some point. She had left to return to work, and you all were left to come to terms. And with that, the ball is in your court as you all stand kind of around the guild hall.
Well, I mean, I guess I should leave the inn.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so you're heading straight to the acting guild hall?
I mean, sure, why not? That's where we get all the information from.
Sure.
I completely forgot where we're supposed to be going after this anyway.
Well, to give you a reminder of what you're doing here, the goal was to kind of befriend the nobility and determine if they were actively teamed up with whatever attacked Seiren, as the armor was all wearing their sigil, so that the church would know if this was enough of a threat that it had to be taken care of now.
So we're working for the church.
Yes, you are currently working with the church.
The church demands your obeisance.
Burn it to the ground.
Really thought you were about to say obesity. I was so confused.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's not inaccurate.
Really confused. So, walking into the main building, you are immediately greeted by the guild clerk, who excitedly waves, but then immediately gets pulled to the side to return to doing her job.
Hey, well,
Until like a crook comes out from the side and yanks her back behind the desk.
you know what? I think we should all gather. Team huddle.
I
Or
will
whatever
note it is
the phrase is.
extremely hectic in here. A lot of people filing, like there's a lot of paperwork being filed. It's clear that this is kind of a makeshift everything at the moment, other than in, as there are people filing for, damages, people trying to, file to get their homes rebuilt, adventurers looking for work and offering to help. Like, everything is going on.
We should find a nice corner to. Hey, that actually worked. We should find a nice corner. We should find a nice corner to go gather at this weekend. Figure out our next move.
Finding a corner is not super hard. Finding a corner where you're not near people is impossible.
But then I will walk outside and go to a corner of the building.
See, now that's a lot easier. Akaikios is just following around a little bit.
I guess I'll just motion for the other two to come along.
Time out a second.
Yep.
So my math is flailing here for a second.
Okay.
This is episode 8, right?
Yeah.
So we should be level 8 and 5 experience points, right?
Well, no, because
We started level
episode
5.
episode 1 and 2, so that'd be level 5. Episode 3
That'd
and
be level
4,
6,
you'd be
so
level
level 5.
6.
No, we started 5.
Yeah. 1 and 2, you'd be level 5.
No, 1 and 2 would be level 6 then.
No, you'd be level 5, because you start at
And-
level 5.
We start at 5, so
Okay, we're doing
episode
math
1 and
differently. We're doing math differently. I'm saying at the end of 2 we'd be 6.
Yes, at the end of
Yes.
2,
End
you'd
of
be
4,
6.
7.
Yep.
At the end of 6, 8. And at the end of 8 would be 9 then.
Yes, which is the end of this episode. Wait,
So
so
it sounds like we should be level 8 with 5 experience points then, right?
you know, it's a good thing this is going to be a heavy roleplay session. It's a good thing this is a roleplay session. We've been out of it for a little bit, people. I apologize. We've had a lot going on.
yeah. Yeah.
We'll figure out the levels later.
Alright, so the guild halls, the mayor's office / guild hall / whatever the hell it is in this emergency is busting like crazy. We are gathered around trying to not get jostled out of position.
Yep, and you notice Rex waving you as he walks out of the building.
What is
Apparently with the Kaikios.
Yep, Akaikios is following right
there it
behind.
is.
Following.
Also, everybody take a drink.
Yep. Take a drink.
Everybody's favorite drinking game. What a strange child. All right, so you are outside. You're at a corner of the building.
Just so we can try not to be overheard. And I guess we've been using Gavan as the go-to de facto leader.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess I'll look up to Gavan and just, I forget what the next step we're supposed to be doing. What is next?
Gavan reaches into his belt and pulls out his little notebook. I'm actually fooling the notebook in my hand right now.
Oh my god.
That sounds about
I
right.
should get a notebook.
My handwriting.
That also sounds about right.
Note to self: I should digitize my notes, given my handwriting is terrible because my wrists are all screwed up.
Note to self: learn how to write.
Our current mission is to identify the attackers behind the attack on. I literally cannot read my own handwriting for the name of this damn city. I'm sorry. Help me out.
Seiren.
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 Say
That was
Ren.
the mission given to us by Lady Faust.
Okay. And we believe that there are attackers here.
It was Reveth, I think was the name, right, Alyss?
Yes. So initially, it was the noble city of, or the nobles of this city. Their shield was found
Ithu,
on
if
the
I remember
armor.
correctly.
Yes,
It was
you are
House
in Ithu.
Reveth of. It was House Reveth of Ithu, right?
I don't know if it was Reveth. It got a.
That's what I have in my notes, at least. Reveth.
It's probably Reveth. But the point is that their shield was written or was shown on the armor of those who had attacked Seiren.
Yes.
So it stands to reason that we should probably focus at least this part of our investigation on that family.
Now, very important to note, the enemies you fought last night had the same sigil on them.
Yeah, but I didn't see any of the enemies.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think only me and Akaikios got that close.
So if we saw the sigil of this family or this group, we should focus our attention to them. Maybe we can find some clues.
It is Reveth, by the way.
Hey, my notes were accurate.
I found my notebook. And
I
my
need to get a
handwriting's
notebook.
good despite also having wrist issues. I just like making fun of Yoshi.
Pretty sure that's your favorite game.
It's certainly up there.
Yep.
All right, so what is the plan for now?
I mean, I put my thoughts out there. What does everybody else think?
Well, it is imperative that we do perform a further investigation into the activities of House Reveth. I believe for now, maintaining our what is the word? Cover, I believe, is perhaps more paramount in the current situation, as drawing suspicions to ourselves may not be the wisest at this time.
Indeed. The townspeople especially would be exceptionally on edge right now. The less we can stick out, the more information we can potentially gain.
Well, we could ask around. There are plenty of people. I'm sure we could blend in fairly easily. mean, it's not like we're going to be able to get any official work done.
Perhaps it would be best if we joined the work crews working around the town and ask the other townspeople what they saw during the attack. And that may give us further leads to follow up on. Especially if these were the same attackers as it seemed.
That's certainly one way.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need to break characters. I cannot with Rack talking normal. What the hell?
Yosh.
I'm sorry. I need to get that out for a sec. I'm sorry. Continue.
Well, everyone's certainly busy. I'm sure we could find somewhere to get in and conceal ourselves among the masses.
Yes.
Perhaps we should find someone in charge and see if they can point us in a direction.
I believe starting at the town hall and see if they are organizing work parties may be the best place to start.
So specifically, what are you? So I heard you were looking for someone who would be in like a position of power. Specifically, power of what?
Not
Just people
power, just someone who's like helping
taking charge.
organize things.
Okay.
Just whoever looks like they have their stuff more together than the others.
I mean, easily enough. You do remember there was someone who seemed to be pointing people in the right direction when you were inside. They seemed to be pointing like everybody in directions like guild clerks, workers, adventurers, townfolk, everybody. Like, if you were in there, they were probably telling you where to go, unless you seemed like you knew where you needed to be.
Well, maybe we should approach the who's in charge. So I head back towards the door and look for that person again.
If Gavin's going to head back in as well, Rec, and walk up to the counter where we saw the guild attendant.
Alright, so you start heading up to the counter, and Rec, you watch as, like, Gavon goes past this person who's been pointing people in directions, and Gavon, as he goes to pass him, gets spun around by this larger gentleman with purple skin, and a pair of glasses. The man is in fairly like professional garb. Like, it's definitely not a suit, but it's definitely above what like guild clerks usually would wear for a uniform. And Gavon, you basically get spun around, and this man just goes, "Hey, there's a line right there. Make sure you get in the back of it. Don't just walk up to the clerks. They got enough on their plate."
Thank you, my good man.
Mm-hmm. And, like, without batting an eye, he immediately turns around and starts helping other people.
And I joined the line.
All right. So, Rex, you watch Gavon get into line and wait. I'm not sure if you're going to go join him or not.
I'm going to see if there's somewhere I can climb to go to a higher ground so I can see. I can get a bird's eye view on the lobby.
It's a fairly tall building, so there are a few columns that are like holding the building up. You could try and climb one of them if you'd like. I will need a might and dexterity check.
Hey, those are my better stats, so maybe.
Hey, we like to hear that.
Hey.
And while he does that, Alessandro, what are you doing?
Suppose I'll also go join the line.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get this to actually go in the thing it's supposed to go.
It's in there.
First time for everything. Well, that's a 8.
You start climbing, and you get maybe like a foot or two up this column, and you just hear, "Oi! No climbing. Get the fuck down. There's enough going on. We don't need a kid hurting himself."
Sorry, apologies. Just trying to get a lay of the land.
The person who yelled at you, like their head like instinctively is just like, huh? Okay, whatever. Well-spoken fucking child who seems to understand something. What? Whatever.
Like, Rex is gonna climb on down and sit, you know. Is there just the one line, or is there other lines?
There's about 13 different lines.
You know what? I got an idea.
Okay.
See, I need to find my dice.
If you're looking for your D12, there's one right here.
No, I was gonna do this. 2 dice is better to roll than 1. So I have a D10 and a D4. Which gives me a 12 anyway, so I'm gonna go to the 12th line.
Okay.
Okay.
Just line number 12.
You get in the 12th line, which does seem to be the fastest moving line.
My instincts have never failed me.
As you get to the front of the line, there is an older woman, like, we're talking like 80s older woman. As she just looks down at you confused, hands you a stack of papers and goes, well, I suppose you could own a house around here. Here you go, kiddo. Just gotta fill out the repair paperwork so we can figure out how much of a stipend you get. Make sure to include all your stuff like your address.
Okay. Rex takes the paperwork and just goes to fill it out with everybody else.
And with that, she waves over the next person. I'll be honest, Rex, this isn't paperwork you'd be able to fill out properly. You can write things, but like, you don't have an address in this town. You're free to lie.
Oh my god.
So, do you lie filling out this paperwork?
I'm gonna look at other people's paperwork to see what they're filling out, to see if I can try and get an approximation of what I could fill out.
So the biggest thing is like, roll me a mind and willpower check real quick.
Well, that's gonna be horrible. So that'll be insight and willpower, or
Yes. Sorry.
which are my worst scores. So, this is gonna be fun.
Hey, at least you have a D8.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's do this. That's an 8.
So you're able to kind of get a glance at other people's paperwork. Unfortunately, the problem is that there's so, like, a lot of what people are filling in is private information, so they're not exactly gunning to let you look at it. But between looking at theirs and looking at this packet, again, like, you can fill it out, just you gotta be a damn good liar.
Well, I'm just gonna have to sit here and try to remember how many houses there were in the town, so I can
Okay.
try and come up with an approximate address.
So you are actively trying to lie.
I just want to see what will happen.
All
You
right.
never know. This could help our investigation.
So
Oh my god.
Rex is falsifying government documents to get a fucking loan. Alessandra and Gavon, you get to the front of the line, and there is another older gentleman. His skin is light green, his hair a nice dark, almost vine-like texture. As he greets you and says, "Welcome, how can I help you?"
We are looking to join the work parties that are clearing up the debris from the attack.
Okay. Just fill out here, and he puts some paperwork down in front of you. It looks actually vaguely familiar, like the guild work paperwork.
Like identical or similar?
Borderline identical.
This appears to be the same paperwork used for the guild. Is that correct?
Well, yes. Are you already guild members?
I pull out my little hard coin thing.
Mhm. And I pull out mine as well.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, if that's the case, what kind of handiwork can you do?
I can handle most manual labor as well as clearing of debris.
Okay, okay, good to know, good to know. What about you? And he points directly at you, Alessandra.
Ah. Well, I am trained in the art of resonant magic and can help the town perhaps return to order and to revitalize the flow of nature through the way of things, disrupt this chaos, and perhaps aid in a smoother recovery.
Are you saying you're gonna do a song and dance?
Mm,
I don't understand what. Can you
Ah.
do physical labor? Can you like help nurse people back to health? Like what?
That yes, I can do, and
Which one?
I'm used to that. I can either perhaps perhaps more useful as a healer, but I have been known to get my hands dirty on occasion.
Okay, so which one you want to do? We need both.
Ah,
All three.
well. I suppose I should help the healers then.
Cool.
That may be the best.
He slaps two pieces of paper down. He pushes one over towards Gavon, says, "Report here as soon as you can." And he turns to Alessandra. "Report here as soon as you can. Maybe be a little bit quicker on the uptake for what they need. Don't forget, healing is a battle against time." Now the
Very
next.
well. Yeah.
He then notices you both, I'm assuming, still standing there. He's like, "Need something else?" Hello? Did I
Oh, it's not
lose you?
me.
Is that directed to me or to?
That's directed to you and Alessandra.
No, I just need directions of where to go.
It's all on the paper.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just nod and start heading off toward where I'm needed.
Cool. Next. So as you two start heading off, you notice Rex sitting on a bench filling out paperwork, like a solid stack of paperwork. And he seems very lost in thought while doing so.
Mm-hmm. And the handwriting is actually pretty good. At least to say it is not the handwriting of somebody you would expect who grew up in the horse.
Is anyone going to interact with the fact he's doing this at all?
Sorry, what are you doing? Explain to me again, 'cause I'm sure I misunderstood that.
No, I'm filling out a stack of papers right now.
Yeah, he is filling out a large stack of paper.
Mm-hmm.
No, the horse part is what I'm confused about.
What horse? What?
I didn't say horse. I said handwriting.
I don't know. I
Old
think
man,
I
get your
stroke.
fucking ears checked. I know they're 30 billion years old, but come on.
I clearly just had a stroke.
Yeah, clearly. You okay, old man?
I think I'm okay, yeah.
Okay, good. So his handwriting is really nice. You remember 2 days ago, this kid couldn't fucking read.
Okay, that's what that's I think where my brain is. I'm sorry. I'm just staring at this with fascination at this point, honestly.
I mean, everything on this paper is a lie, but including the age. I think at this point the age is like 16 or 17. on the paper. Rex is definitely not that old yet. Although he looks like, with his beefy arms, he looks like he probably has been working out for 16 years.
I am so befuddled right now by everything happening with Rec.
Right?
Sounds about right.
Well, while they're all lost and befuddled, Rex will get up and pass the paperwork to the front counter and then just walk away and watch the lady.
The lady gets a look of confusion on her face. Goes, "Excuse me, young man, can you come back here?"
He walks back to the counter and he says, "Is there a problem?"
Yeah, you didn't write a name on the paper. You just drew the symbol of House Reveth.
Well, if you take it to the back, they'll understand.
Can you wait here for a second?
Sure.
Okay, and she'll walk to the back. While she does that, so Alessandra and Gavon, I'm assuming you saw him filling out the paperwork, noticed the handwriting, and then just, you know what? We've been given assignments. We're going where we gotta go.
Yeah, more or less.
More or less, yes. I am
Javon
just...
does not have the spoons to process this currently.
Okay, this is gonna be fantastic.
And Alessandra, meanwhile, is realizing the gravity of what she has volunteered for, since, as a cantoress in training, she has not yet taken the lead in such an important duty as healing following such a momentous incident. And yet, as the Arcana moves her, she has in fact done so. So she's walking along, trying to mentally keep herself together, and just like, you can do this, Ellie. You got this.
You got this. You can do
Mhm.
this.
Yes.
Hold on, I
Okay.
got this. I gotta find this beach.
So after a couple of minutes, Rex, the old woman comes back and goes, "I need you to come with me if you don't mind."
Rex, with his super confident posture, first he stuffs Autumn into his hair to hide her. He's got pretty wild hair. Stuffs her in the hair to hide her, and then follows along with the old lady.
Mhm.
Of course, he doesn't need to bring any weapons with him because he has a weapon.
So you are brought to a room in the back. Whoop, that shouldn't be on that side. You are brought to a room in the back, and as you get out to that, or as you get to that room, there's a lot of people in that room. First off, there are several guards currently staring you down. There is a desk in the back where, right there, an older gentleman stares angrily. He's got slightly darker skin and very like a black hair with a very nice sheen to it. The occasional silver strand within his hair. His face is very agitated. Behind him sits the coat of arms of the Reveth family on a full-size pennant. And he is glaring at you.
I was about to do something crazy, but I'm not gonna do it.
As you are brought in here, the door is slammed shut by one of the many guards in this room.
Well, Rex will walk confidently up,
music is
find a
not
chair, and sit
dramatic
down.
enough for this,
Nope.
I'm sorry.
You
No.
so right. Hold on, let's.
We need some battle music in here.
No, not battle music.
Ah.
We need dramatic
No.
throne room music, or we need like the Imperial March.
Let's see what we got here. Let's.
We need like pre-battle music. How about that?
We need some Hans Zimmer. That's what we need.
Well, I have to work within constraints of what I've got here. So we're gonna go here.
Look, I'll take Danny Elfman.
I know you will, but I don't have access to Danny Elfman. Here we go. We'll go with this. This will work. Tell me, boy. What are you doing?
Rex will confidently walk up, find a chair, and take a seat. with the one leg crossed over the other and his hands in his lap.
The man cocks an eyebrow at you.
Oh, I'm just making myself known.
Clearly. Why? We are facing an emergency and you're making jokes.
No, we are facing an emergency and I'm getting to the bottom.
Getting to the bottom, you say. And what makes you think that you can?
Well, I don't know if you know truly what happened yesterday. This definitely was no accident. And it was not, it was premeditated.
Yes, we were assaulted. Borderline
Yes.
sieged. Are you saying you're the one behind it?
No, I'm saying that there is some connection between myself and those who have assaulted that I am trying to uncover.
He narrows his eyes, looking straight at you. You're gonna start talking sense, or I'm gonna have my guards tear you to pieces. Those people destroyed our town, killed some of our civilians, killed many of our guards, and you're connected to them? I'm going to need information now.
First, I can give you, with what I learned last night, is that they, at least the ones that I encountered, had some knowledge of myself prior to this encounter. I'm not entirely sure who they are. They definitely recognized me.
And
And-
what? You decide to draw my coat of arms on a legal document meant to help out those who have lost their homes?
I drew what I saw, what myself and my companion saw them carrying.
Garrick, come here. And one of the guards immediately rushes over and says, "Yes, my liege. I want you to go confirm what this boy just said. I know a couple of the corpses are still in one piece. Go." Yes. And the man rushes out the door. It's open for him so he can rush out and then it's slammed back shut. So you're saying that my sigil is on these men?
I'm saying that we noticed them carrying, or at least the ones that we encountered carrying. They may be part of yours, or they may be placing false blame on you and yours. That's what I'm here to uncover today. If they have a connection to you and they have a connection to me, maybe I can learn some more.
Do you know who I am, boy?
If I'm being honest, I haven't the foggiest.
My name is Sabet Raveth. I am the noble lord of this town. That symbol, and he points to the pennant behind him, that is the crest of my family.
With his announcement, Rex like slowly stands up and holds his hand out. He obviously can't reach, but says, "Well, my name is Alphonse Albertus III, and until now, I have been living in the red forests to the west.
You're from the Red Forest?
That's where I lived."
Hmm. And he's kind of looking forward for a moment, almost contemplative. And then one of the guards speaks up and goes, "Sir, you can't believe this child is from the Forest of Red. You know where that..." "Shut up." "But sir, I..." "Shut up. You say one more word, you will be discharged. Is that clear?" "Yes, sir." "You are from the Forest of the Red, in the Kingdom of the Demons."
If that's what it's called, I just know it as the forest and my home.
"Let's say I believe you. Why are you here?"
I'm trying to find my past. I have no memories beyond the last year.
Hmm. And before he can respond, we're gonna kind of shift over a
Shift
little
over
bit.
to the other two.
So let's start with Alessandra.
Okay.
You were given directions to one of the few buildings that's still in one piece. It happens to actually be the smithy.
Ah.
And you don't even have to get to the building to realize that it is a very active medical zone still.
Hmm.
You can still hear people yelling and moaning pain. It is clearly still being helped.
Ah.
And as you get closer, you notice there are even people still waiting medical treatment on the grass outside. There are people
Hmm.
running around with water and bandages. And as you get close, a younger woman runs up to you and goes, "Are you here to help or do you have an injury?"
Greetings. My name is Alessandra. I am a member of the Ordo Sacra Resonante and believe I can help these people.
"Good, that's what I needed to hear. Come on." And she immediately grabs you by the hand and starts like yanking you along
Ah.
with her. And as she's rushing, she just says, "Look, I understand that you come from somewhere where it's very nice to politely introduce yourself, and I will happily introduce myself when we have a break. But for now..." And she hands you like some prep or some like clean gear, so like
Ah.
gloves, a face mask, a
Hmm.
smock, and then she says, "Okay, how much medical knowledge do you have? Do you know how to do sutures?"
Unfortunately, my training is around the actual healing magics that my order practices, less so this more mundane. But I can patch up a few wounds.
Okay, do you know how to remove debris?
Yes.
Okay, good. You're going to be going over there, and she points to a specific corner. She's like, "There's beds 4, 8, and 13. Those all have people who need debris removed. Feel free to use healing magic after that. Just make sure you remove the debris first. You don't want to heal the skin over it. Got it? Good, great." And she
Of course.
immediately runs off.
Very well.
You you also notice, even though she did not hand it to you, there is a medical kit right where she was handing you all the clean
Yes.
gear. So you're free to put on all of the clean gear first.
Yes. I put on all of the gear and then grab the medical kit and get to work.
All right. So the first patient that you are helping is not severe. It's almost clear that the reason she told you to go to bed for first is to get used to a lot of what you're going to be seeing while you are helping in this tent. This person has, and I am going to apologize for anyone in the audience who is squeamish. This person has just some debris of like exploded building in their leg, mostly in the shin area. So very easy to remove and then quickly heal. I am going to have you roll me a double dexterity. The DC is very low though.
Okay, double dex. 68. So there's one D8. Where's my other D8? There you are.
I just watched you yeet one off the fucking table. Just, yep, nope, go.
Yeah. All right.
My pretties.
Go, my pretties. That is a 6.
A 6. So, again, you're able to very easily remove the debris from this person. The DC on this, like I said, is very low because it's not a fatal wound. And then you are free to use healing magic on them to close up the wound.
Yep. Very well. I do that thinking back to the spell that I was so inspired by before and begin just quietly humming a soft and warm tone that passes over the injured area. As it is not a serious wound. It is simply just a calming tone passes across. If it were likened to a modern context, it would be as if sort of a musical aloe were being dispensed.
All right. So, with the healing magic, the skin begins to reattach as it should. Peacefully, slowly. The person's pain subsides and they are very thankful. And before they can even really, like, offer you anything, like, it's literally like, they're like, oh my god, my leg's better. Thank you so much. You know, I run this business, and, like, before they can even say, I run this, another nurse runs by, sees they're healed, and says, great, get out, we need the bed. And, like, shoves them out the door, pats you on the back, and says, great job, next bed. Now, the next bed is a lot more serious of a problem. This person, while again not technically fatal, if not treated properly, could end up being fatal. They have a lot more debris in them, and some of it's in their abdomen. So you definitely have to work a little bit more precisely on this one. So again, I'm going to have you do another double dexterity.
Very well. These dice, I'm just not having a good time today. Okay.
It's the dice towers.
Shit.
Are we invoking a trait or are we keeping the 4?
We are invoking a trait.
All right, so I am going to need to know what kind of trait you're invoking and how you plan to do so.
Okay. I am invoking just how I have been in several bits of harrowing combat by now and seen some fairly grievous wounds. Stop myself as I attempt to clumsily reach for the patient. No, that's not right. Let's try it this way.
All right, so spend a Fabula point and re-roll your dice. Here, I'll take a point. It's fine.
I already dropped one in.
Oh, okay. You have so many points.
Yes.
Stop dying.
Okay. That's a 9.
All right. So with a 9, you are mostly able to treat this person, but you are not doing it all that speedily. And as you're attempting to remove some of the debris, another nurse runs over, seeing you very meticulously, like, you know, trying not to make anything worse by poking or prodding the wrong spot, but trying to make sure that you aren't missing any of the debris.
Mm-hmm.
And they run over and they immediately, like, they're starting to point out, like, all right, so you're gonna want to go over here. All right, so you're gonna kind of want to turn the tongues this way and kind of do that. And like, she's having you be a little bit more reckless, but helps you manage to get the last of the debris out. And then, you know, you again are welcome to start doing your healing magic, that humming song you do, unless you do a
Yes.
different song.
Well, since this is a little bit of a deeper, more serious wound, I place my hand on my baton, just leaving it fastened to my side, as it were, just grasping it as a source of inspiration. And the tune is the same, but a careful observer could note that the intensity is a bit more, that instead of just a light hum as one going about her daily work would be, there's the air of a little bit of a chant on the wind. Nothing terribly discerning, or alarming, but at the level where if it were in an exam hall, someone would be making an issue of it being perhaps louder than it needed to be.
All right. So as you are doing that and the wound is closing, the nurse that was helping you is like in awe and goes, "You are Matt. Oh, that's so good. Okay." So listen, bed 13, I'm going to do a lot of the surgery because I'm going to be a little bit faster than you are. You are going to have the job of, I need you to be right behind me. And I need you to start healing as I'm removing stuff. I need you to start casting that spell because I'm not confident that bed 13 is going to make it otherwise. Is that clear?
Yes, I understand.
Perfect. Let's go.
Quick time events.
And like literally like grabs you by the arm and just starts pulling you to bed 13. This is probably some of the fastest Alessandra has moved in years. And that includes evading a dragon.
It also includes evading the Abbess Superior.
Oh, 100%. So, here's what we're going to do on this one. You are actually going to be rolling an insight willpower check on this one. As she is doing the surgery, you are controlling the output of your healing magic so that she can work, say, like left to right, and the wounds will only be healing from that point. So, like, it's going to start on the end that she is doing the surgery on, and it's going to start closing up, and it's just like, all right, chest is done. We're moving to, this part of the body. We're moving to this part of the body.
Mm-hmm.
This person looks like they were in one of the buildings as they collapsed.
Oh.
You are surprised this person is still alive.
Good thing magic exists.
Yep.
Well, we shall see.
Make sure you don't press the wrong button when the quick time event comes up.
That is a 10.
So with a 10, you are very, very much struggling to control your magic.
Mm.
There are moments where you are so lost in focus, trying to adjust as your magic is music. You're trying to adjust the pitch and the tone, the speed of the music as well. You're trying to adjust all of it so that it doesn't hurriedly close up this wound with, debris still in it. You're finding it so hard to focus with this person's moaning and pain is getting louder and louder, and even like the nurse is asking people to give him more alcohol so he maybe isn't as in pain. And you're controlling your magic as best you can. And when you finally finish, after this patient alone takes about 30 minutes, as fast as that nurse is being, the nurse looks at you and goes, "That was amazing. I'm only 80% sure I got all the debris out. But we're gonna have to accept that, and if he needs help later, we'll get him help later. But thank you.
I hope I did my best.
You certainly helped." And before she can say anything else, the nurse that gave you initial marching orders walks over and says, "Good, great, get him out of the bed. You got to go back to bed 4. There's another patient that needs help over there. Thankfully, this one doesn't require any surgery. You just got to do healing magic," and they run right off again.
Very well. I go back to bed 4 and start again.
As you get to bed 4, this time there's a gentleman there in, you almost want to call it a suit, but it definitely looks like what you would consider a suit that an adventurer would wear. Like, it is made of like the kind of leather that would be in armor, but it is styled and tailored to be like a full-on 3-piece suit.
Interesting.
The man has no wounds visible as far as you can tell. And he just smiles and nods his head to you and goes, "Howdy."
Greetings.
Suppose you're the nurse that's going to be taking care of me today?
Yes, we are stretched a bit thin, and so these techniques may not be ones you are familiar with, but you seem like a traveled sort.
Magic's beautiful.
Hmm.
I would never complain about experiencing a little bit of magic, especially from one who's from, I don't know, the Holy Empire of Valoria.
So you are familiar with my order then?
Oh yeah, y'all can't get the stink off you no matter how much you shower.
let's just say I have my disagreements with the Abbess Superior. However, I hope you will not find my skills lacking.
It's
And
fine. I'm
begin.
not actually injured. As you go to
Hmm.
like cast magic and he slaps your hands away.
Hmm.
I was just curious who was over here using so much magic so flippantly. You've been letting him take the debris out, right?
Yes, of course. This is
Good.
best.
You'd be amazed how many mages don't understand that you have to let that happen first.
I admit many of my colleagues are not as adept at making the transition from their studies at the Scholasticate to treating real injuries.
So true. Oh, it's the deity's magic. It'll let us heal them and they won't die. You idiots. Well, it's nice to meet someone who's actually got a head on her shoulders. But I do wonder what you're doing so far from home. I know you said you had disagreements, but even then, the furthest I've seen them is one, maybe 2 countries over. Never across the world.
Well, as it turns out, I am completing my apprenticeship in the service of a noble lady to the north of here.
Oh. Interesting.
She has asked that I travel on her behalf and seek to learn more of the peoples and cultures in this area, since her home is, as right now, blessed to be fairly peaceful.
Interesting. Hey, I want to try something real quick, because I'm so curious about something. You said north of here, right?
Yes.
Alright. And he pats down, reaches into a pocket, and he puts his hands together, and then he does the thing where he balls up 2 fists and he holds them out, and he says, left or right? And don't just say it, just tap the hand.
Briefly tap the right.
Alright. And when you say right, you mean your right or his right?
My right.
So with that, he flips open his hand, and you notice a silvered coin. He says, "Oh, imperial coin, interesting." And he kind of starts playing with it through his fingers, and you notice the coin itself starts to age until he lifts it up, and he's holding what was once a beautiful, fresh silver coin is now a tarnished silver coin. Almost looks like it's just been left out for years. He says, "Oh, very interesting, Missy." And he flips the coin to you. He then stuffs another coin into his pocket. You get a brief glimpse of the coin as he's sliding it into his pocket, and you notice the other coin is made of brass. Well, I got the information I needed. You have a wonderful day, young lady, and good luck with the healing. You're gonna be here for a while.
Until I can heal all those who need it, I shall keep watch.
Oh, you don't get it. If you do that, you're gonna burn out before they do. And he walks away. And another nurse immediately runs over to you and goes, "Come on, we need your help. Let's go," and starts running.
Okay, I follow.
Back to the rush you go.
Back to the rush.
That is where we're going to pause for our first break. When we come back, we are going to immediately swap over to Yoshi, who has just been so
Yay.
wonderfully patient. Thank you, Yoshi.
Yes.
Dinosaurs are pretty patient.
I've just been making mash jokes in the chat.
Oh, I saw. I have been so aware of what's chat's doing. Speaking of, hi, chat! So we are on our break, so we are actually able to interact with everybody now. Players, if you want to go get drinks, go get snacks, go use the bathroom, go kill somebody.
Which burger? What's a burger?
Just don't get in
I have-
trouble. I had burgers for dinner, actually.
I have a wireless
Right.
headset, so I was doing all that while you guys were doing
Yeah, that's what I do.
It must be nice having a
although,
wireless
yes.
headset, y'all.
I have one headset that doesn't seem to have a lot of range anymore.
I think my range has gotten better.
Yoshi's wireless head. No, I'm not gonna make that joke. That's fucked.
Oh,
I
Nice.
was gonna make a joke, and then I was like, you know what? It's not gonna be as funny as an old person joke because you have a legitimate problem going on.
Oh, come on, let's hear it.
I was gonna say the range on your headset is as far as you can run.
Well, that's still
And
further than
he's
I can
dead.
run.
And he's dead.
Like the idea, like it was initially gonna just be an old man stamina joke, and I was like, no, he's got actual knee problems. That's not as funny.
I feel like this is a challenge now, and I should try out running without the cane and see how far I get before I lose signal.
Yosh, don't hurt yourself.
Do not.
Don't
do
hurt
not,
yourself.
Yoshi, I will tell you what I told the judge in court yesterday.
Excuse
The
me?
only time I'm going to run is when my life is in danger.
You know, I say that same shit all the time. I'm like, if I'm running, you
I
probably
feel like I
should
need
be. 'cause-
context. Why was Van in court and talking to a judge?
Yosh, I need you to understand something. Van and I are the same person.
Also, I'm
yes,
pretty
that
sure.
does not narrow the crime down.
Okay, but by asking Van to say that, need we remind Van that the Fifth Amendment exists?
You know what? She's right. Fifth Amendment. Fifth Amendment's
take
your
the-
friend. We may only have it for like another week or two, but it is your friend.
I take the Alyss Amendment. The Alyss Amendment.
Oh shit, that's the one. That's the one where you get away with your crimes, but you're permanently banned from Montana. Which, to be fair, I don't know that that's somewhere I want to be right now.
Yeah.
That's a benefit, not a punishment.
Like, oh no. Anyway, what do you mean no? What was that in reference to? I wasn't paying
To me
attention.
running.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, Gallifrey, we're on the same page then. I hope everybody is having fun.
The difference here is if I do it and I fall, you're just gonna laugh and say you fucking idiot.
No, I'm gonna make sure you're okay first, and then I'm gonna call you a fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
see, the difference is Gallifrey will just call me an idiot and kick me, and then say, "Why would you do that, you dumbass?"
Yosh, you've married such a great woman. I know you're not married, but quite frankly, Gallifrey is great.
Yes.
The fact that she would kick you for you being an idiot, just chef's kiss. Oh, come on, Gallifrey, don't sell yourself short.
Well, see, I would kick Yoshi
specify-
to make sure he's okay.
We do not approve
No,
of actual
she's right.
abuse.
She's right. She won't kick me. She won't kick me. She'll use her cane.
We do not advocate for abuse of anybody really on this channel. It is not okay if your loved one is hitting you, get the fuck rid of them.
Yes.
It doesn't
And
it
call
doesn't
somebody
matter
to-
if they hit you and hurt themselves. Get rid of them. That's not who
Yeah.
you need.
That's happened to me before, actually.
What, where you hit someone and hurt yourself, or where they hit you
No,
and
no.
hurt themselves?
When somebody punched me in the chest and broke their hand.
See, that was just called high school for me. People would hit me and hurt themselves. I ever tell you about the kid who kicked me with the steel toe boots on? Kicked me right in
No.
the shin, and then he started bouncing up and down. He's like, "What the fuck are you made out of?" I was like,
Titanium.
"I don't know, and I don't care, but it clearly is better than whatever you're wearing."
I mean, to be fair, I want to fight against the Jeep.
I'm waiting for Steve to take my meds and stuff. So I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
you do that. That's
Yeah.
what the break is for. Chat, how are you doing today? Are you having a fun Friday? Are you enjoying yourselves? Make sure you follow on YouTube, by the way. It's where we upload the stream recaps when we get them. It's where we upload... we just did... Van and I had discussion on the first episode drop on Wednesday. I did a video...
That's gonna happen every couple Wednesdays.
Yeah, it's, basically, I think my plan is I'm going to alternate between, like, 1 month doing Digitalk and 1 month doing Discussion.
Mhm.
And then maybe if, like, there's a month that has 3 Wednesdays in it, maybe we'll just do both. If we can, you know, find time to sit down and do it.
I think there actually is a week like that coming up, or a month like that coming up.
Oh, Swifty, thanks for the sub.
12 months.
Yes,
already.
yes.
No, the next month I'm aware of that even has 3 or 5 weeks in it is July.
No, because April has 5 Wednesdays in it.
Does it?
Because the 2nd is Wednesday and the 30th
Oh,
is a
yeah.
Wednesday.
You know what it is? I'm usually looking at what months have 3 Fridays. I'm almost never looking for Wednesdays. So April, yeah, maybe we'll for April, maybe we'll do a Discussion on and a Digitalk.
Because that's the only one. That's the earliest one that we had that has 5 Wednesdays.
Yeah, and then July has 5 Wednesdays. October has 5 Wednesdays.
So every couple of months.
Yeah, well, hold on, actually, because hold on, April might have 5 Wednesdays, but it might not have 3 videos in it. Let's see, 29th, so 12th and then
3,
26th, 12th and 26th, so 9. Yeah, no, April only gets 2 videos because they're going to go up on the 9th and 23rd.
Oh, okay.
And then May is
What
the
about-
7th and 21st.
Which means the first week of June.
So June
4th and
gets
18th.
2. Yeah, so July will be the next month that has 3 Wednesdays in it.
Let's see, and then
I knew there was a way that I had made sense where July was the first one.
yeah,
Because you know what? May even has 5 Fridays in it, which means May has 5 paychecks, which I think we can all appreciate.
yeah, that would be nice.
I love those extra paychecks. I had someone once tell me that those don't count, and I was like, that's because you do your math wrong. I calculate my annual and my monthly income. I base my bills on the monthly.
I base almost everything on monthly.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
base it all on 4 paychecks, and then when you get that 5th paycheck a month, just extra cash. It's just
Well, I get 2
extra cash,
paychecks and
baby.
occasionally 3.
Oh, you get paid bi-weekly?
Yeah,
I get
mine,
2
mine's
and occasionally 3.
bi-weekly.
See,
Actually,
that's,
I could get paid every day if I choose to, because we have a program that lets me do that. I just don't want to.
that's too much.
That would be I would spend it too quickly.
I like my weekly paychecks. I think weekly is good. It lets me break up my bills in ways that make sense to me.
Yeah.
It'd be nice
Yeah.
to feel like I'm getting more because I'd be getting $1,400 every 2 weeks instead of $700 every week. But
Oh, we make about the same amount of money then.
I say it all the time. I make good money. I just have debt. If I didn't have to pay for my car, my student loans, my credit cards from moving to Pennsylvania when I had to do that, like if I didn't have to pay all that, I would actually be okay.
Well, the sad part is where I live, what we make is not good money.
Hmm.
It is barely mediocre money where I live.
Mind you, this is also like this is sharing the rent for an apartment. This isn't like this isn't me paying for my own apartment.
It's true.
If I
Yeah.
lived in like a studio apartment or a single bedroom, I think I'd be able to do something with that. But
I'm getting
I'd
a
much prefer
single
having-
apartment, but
I much prefer living with someone.
until I end up dating somebody, whoever that is, Henry Cavill.
Van's still shooting his big shot. Henry Cavill, if you see this, can you go on one date with Van? It can be platonic. Just give this man his bucket list.
Okay, I can die happy if I get to hang out with Henry Cavill for even like an hour.
That'd be cool. Imagine hanging out with like a celebrity you have things in common with.
Yeah, yeah.
See, the problem is I don't know a celebrity that has the 2 things that I would love to spend an hour hanging out with a celebrity talking about. and that is specifically Digimon and tabletops, because that's all I talk about anyway.
Well, Henry Cavill's got one.
That's true. At least one. I don't know his stance on Digimon.
You might like Digimon, I don't know.
Yeah, he could.
If he ever shows up in a Digimon movie, we'll know.
I would say let's please give us a live action Digimon movie, but I can't imagine that would go well.
No. What they would have to do is make him War Greymon.
Here's one thing I will say: if we ever did get a Digimon movie, there's one thing we need. We need Devamon portrayed by Willem Dafoe.
Well, then he'd have to be Anjumon, because then they would have to fight.
Yeah, but here's my thing. I begrudgingly watched the Netflix live action Death Note. Never do that to yourself. It's not worth it.
I did too. So
you could offer me $100,000. I don't think I'd sit through it again, even for $100,000. That's a
give me a million.
Give
me a million, I might.
Yeah, $1 million I would. $1 million I would, but $100,000 is like, that's a solid. I don't think so. That's how bad that movie is. But the movie has one redeeming thing about it.
I don't know.
$100,000
is $100,000.
Yeah. No, I have some level of dignity. I can't.
See, you say dignity, I say down payment on something.
Swift, have you ever watched the live? First off, do you like the Death Note like anime and manga?
Yes.
Okay, have you ever watched the Netflix version?
Not of that one, but knowing how Netflix has treated other live adaptations,
this is on a different level. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's on a completely different level of horrible.
Speaking of Henry Cavill,
I'm trying to think of like the best thing I could compare it to, because like it is a full-on bastardization of Death Note. It's so bad.
I can't think of anything.
No?
I can't think of anything that bad.
I will be right back, everybody.
I'm gonna find out who was. I'm gonna find out who directed and wrote that movie. That might give us an idea. God, why am I looking this up? Why am I doing this to myself?
I don't know.
Who is Adam Wingard? Oh, that's how did this person go from Death Note to Godzilla vs. Kong? Oh, they did the remake of Blair Witch.
Oh, huh?
Again, how did they go from that to Godzilla vs. Kong? Who let them do that? Yeah, there's. Oh, this person is a horrible person if I'm reading this right. Makes sense why they make horrible movies. Because this movie that they did sounds horrible, and I don't even. It's so bad I don't even want to read the thing. Yeah, no.
Anyway, where was I?
I was looking up who was the director for the Death Note live action, and I found out that I don't like them.
Why?
Because some of the movies they made, and I can't even say the name of some of them.
I'm so curious.
What is the person's name? Was Adam Wingard.
Doesn't sound familiar to me.
They made like 8 movies. 2 of them were Godzilla vs. Kong, which are the only movies that I would even slightly recommend looking at on this person's list.
Interesting.
That's only if you like Godzilla or Kong, because the movies are dumb. Godzilla would destroy Kong in 5 seconds. So
Yeah, if you want to watch a good Death Note live action movie, Japan made 3. 2 of them are based on the anime. 1 of them is based on one of the books. They change some things, but they do it so well.
I want to share something that I discovered yesterday.
Hmm.
And what would that
It's
be?
about it's about the One Piece live action.
I liked the One
Oh,
Piece
no.
live action.
No, it's actually really good and surprising. I found out that Zoro's actor was a Kamen Rider,
Yeah, that tracks.
but I forgot because he's a Kamen Rider in a movie only. I
Mm,
completely forgot he was in the movie.
that's just like how what was it? The Eighth Doctor was just in a movie.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like they play a backup Kamen Rider in a movie, and I completely forgot that was a thing.
Amazing. Is Yosh still taking his drugs?
Probably.
Probably.
Okay.
I'm just like I said, I was just looking up dumb stuff about the Death Note live action.
That's
Still can't find anything as bad.
Oh yeah, chat. For those who have been following the Digimon Tamers tabletop game I'm working on, first playtest is gonna be off stream on Tuesday. I might record it, and if everything goes well, I may upload it. I'm gonna confirm with everyone involved. Also, those who are involved with the book, either playtesters, proofreaders, or Van, who appears in it multiple times because it's just he's a perfect example for talking about punching a Digimon square in the face.
Repeatedly.
They will have content creator links in the book, so please make sure you follow anyone who's helped me out with it. They're all really cool people.
We all know 100% that that's exactly what would happen.
Did I send you the one example I put in the book that literally
You did.
talks about? Yeah. So for those curious, there's one example where I'm talking about how you would deal with a tamer talking to his Digimon as someone goes to talk to them. I was like, instead of having this whole conversation between themselves, just have them summarize what's going on, such as, for example, as Alyss walks over to Van, she hears him talking to his Agumon about why he should be able to punch a Devilmon in the face, and how effective it would be.
Hmm.
The answer is not fucking very.
It's a mentally effective. Because a Devilmon is not expecting that.
I honestly, you know what I think would happen? I feel like it would be like the scene out of, and I say this as someone who hasn't watched it, the scene out of the Castlevania anime where fucking Belmont punches Dracula in the face and is like, you must be the Belmont. Again, as someone who's never watched the anime, I love that scene from the context of like, there's one of like a few possibilities, one of which being, this motherfucker is dumb enough to punch me in the face. He must be a Belmont.
Classic.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Yoshi. Welcome back.
Thank you. I was letting you finish your talking, so I didn't say anything.
Yep.
No, you're good.
Ah.
Well, no, I definitely would fist fight a Devilmon.
I know you. I legitimately, Van, I want you to know there is one tamer skill I put in there, thinking of you. It is the troublemaker skill, which just gives a benefit to fist fighting. That's all the skill does, is it gives bonuses to punching. Because there is a limit to how strong tamers can get. But this goes, well, you just get bonus to your damage. You still got to hit, but you got bonuses to damage.
Yeah, then it all becomes where you're aiming.
Bro, you realize you'd come up to like the knees on a Devamon?
Not if I jump.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Let me drop kick this Devilmon real quick.
That's you realize that one day we're gonna have to do, even if it's just a one-off session of Digimon Tamers, we're gonna have to run one on stream.
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
And if you don't try and punch a Digimon, I feel like the internet's gonna have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you might have a drinking
running
game.
tabletop games. I was talking with Yoshi the other day, and this is where Alyss is like, "Oh God, here we go." And I'm actually tempted to start writing my own D&D-ish one. I don't want to do 5e, but
So
also
don't.
I also want to use the 2024 manuals that they're releasing for material. So like, but
5e isn't bad. It's just not. It's different.
5e
it's just
isn't
not
bad.
Pathfinder
Wizards of the
Second
Coast
is the thing.
5e isn't bad. Wizards of the Coast can suck my left nut.
Yeah.
Sorry for giving you that visual. I think that's the first time I've ever said that on stream, even while drunk. No, fucking, I'm not a fan of Wizards of the Coast. They've pissed me off too many times at this point.
Well, they're Wizards of the Coast. That's their entire
That's
MO.
MO.
Like,
Yeah.
like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna push Pathfinder 2nd Edition. That's probably one of my favorite fantasy tabletops. But like, honestly, here's what I would almost suggest for you, Swift.
Mhm.
Start building out the world you plan on using,
Mhm.
and like do just a general outline. So like, who's the BBEG? Do they run an organization, or is the BBEG just this nebulous, like otherworldly power? And the people that are going to be a problem are just like the cultists of this otherworldly power. Figure all that out, and then just find the system that works with all that. Like, find the system that lets you utilize all of that the way you want.
Well, we know what my next tabletop's going to be, so
Yep.
that I run.
Lancer?
No.
To be fair, aside from the fact that Van and I have talked about it on stream, it's a good guess. That is actually a really good guess, because I could totally see Van running Lancer or fucking Robotech even.
Could be, but
Have those books.
Systems I want to run. Paranoia XP.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God! Not again!
Oh yes.
all I can see in my head is the thermonuclear bomb on the tip of the pin of the holy hand grenade. I will never forget that campaign.
Look, all I will say is there is a list of tabletops I want to run. It includes everything on my shelf and everything in my Google Drive. And let me tell you, Yoshi knows, my Google Drive is not just released tabletops. Some of them are ones I designed.
Yup.
And who knows, maybe one day I will actually release some of them. I know one that I really want to get back to at some point, because I still have yet to find a really good steampunk tabletop that actually is in the vein of steampunk.
Madness.
And is
This
it Iron
is-
Kingdoms?
No. Even Iron Kingdoms is not very well. Like, it has some of the aesthetic, but to me, steampunk is like the only magic is like Call of Cthulhu style magic, where it's like it's all weird occulty stuff that's vague. There's no actual casting of spells and shit.
Okay.
That's just me, though. On the other hand, like I don't know if that's entirely what steampunk is meant to be. That's just what I have perceived it to be in my experience.
I will say, just to give a little hint at the tabletop I'm talking about, one of the preset enemies you can use is called Chunky Chicken.
What?
I don't know why my brain went to Tales of the City when you said that. But I know you're not talking about Tales of the City.
No.
I love how you're like, oh, let me give a hint. It's like, Van, I could see you running one of 4 tabletops if we count the Digimon one. And we've already said no to 2 of them, so that leaves one mutual interest we have left.
Yeah.
Problem is, I don't think Yoshi would ever remember it.
The only thing I can think of is Power Rangers?
Hey, you
Oh, you
got
got
it.
it.
Everyone clap for the old man. You know what? Since we're clapping for the old man, we're gonna get back to session. So, chat, of course, we're gonna be going back to low interaction verbally, but I do hope you continue to enjoy yourselves. And with that in mind, Yoshi.
I do a thing!
Yay.
So, Yoshi, you find yourself at a construction site. You are a fairly big man. And as you get there, a foreman immediately walks up to you and sizes you up and goes, "You here to work?"
I'm here to help.
"So you're here to work. Got it.
Yes.
How much can you lift?"
How much do you need me to lift?
"That's a dangerous question there, buddy. I need you to lift whatever you can and then some."
What is like immediately around us?
Right now, a lot of brick and mortar. There's lumber for setting up roofs and such. Yeah, just a lot of construction materials to rebuild the houses in this area.
I look around, I look at him and say, show me what you need lifted.
You see those bricks? And he points to like a pallet of, I don't know. We'll ballpark it at about 500 bricks because that's what my brain is saying would be on a pallet.
I nod.
He goes, "Cool. I need those bricks brought over there." And he points to a building that's maybe about 40 feet away.
Okay.
You get them there
Alright.
however you can, as fast as you can.
Juan is going to walk over and like, are these like standard like building bricks?
Yeah. I feel like 500's not that many.
Are they like bundled in any way, or are they just on the pallet?
There's some rope that you think is kind of helping, but realistically, you know, there are some fairly loose bricks on here.
Actually, more asking they were like packaged together in some way, like groups.
Well, yeah, it's like it's neatly organized on the pallet, but it's like all of the bricks and just the rope is doing its best to hold
No,
it there.
I meant like the groups, like there were groups of bricks packaged together, like through some like bonding or something.
Oh no.
Hmm.
And
I was going to take his shield
uh-huh.
and try to stack like 10, 15 bricks on it,
I'm fine with this.
and then carry that over and rinse and repeat.
Now, when you say stack, I'm assuming you mean like basically you're just putting the bricks into the shield. You're not like trying to create a tower of 10 or 15 bricks in this shield.
No, like a layer of like 5 or 6, and then like another 4 or 5 on top of that, so on.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you roll me 2
Like I'm trying to
might.
balance the load. Tucker did it. Sorry. Why not have 2d10 over here?
Why would you not have 2d10?
Because I only have 1d10 only roll. I need to clone this. I cannot. Can you clone this d10 for me? Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, you only have one set of dice other than the d8s.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. That's gonna be a 10.
Alright, so moving these bricks is gonna take you a hot minute. You're gonna be moving them for a while, because you get the first couple, and you're like, oh yeah, this is a nice like 4 or 5 minute trip. Just getting all the bricks into the shield and getting them over there, putting them down nicely, and then coming back. And after a few trips, you realize now it's taking you 10 minutes, and then it's taking you 20 minutes, and then it's taking you 30 minutes. And finally, you get the last set of bricks over there. And you've been working at this for probably about 3 hours now. And as you get the final bricks over there, the foreman walks over and pats you on the back and goes, "Oh, I don't know why they dropped the bricks that far away from the building, if I'm honest, but I owe you several beers."
Yvonne gives a good-natured grin and turns to the foreman. Well, I would never pass up such a kind offer.
I'd hope not. Be kind of weird.
Could be I was a man of the cloth.
I've met men of the cloth who drink.
Fair. Fair.
You know, I think it's weird
What else
you've met
do you
men
need
of the
from-
cloth who don't drink on principle of being men of the cloth.
All types and all cultures, as they say.
He just shrugs and says, "Yeah, you go ahead and take a small break. Go ahead and, if you want to go sit where the others are gathering, just go behind the building. They're all sitting back there having some food."
Gavan will avail himself of the offer.
So going in the back, there's someone who's got a soup pot on, and they seem to just be serving workers. A lot of the workers are just sitting around talking. Some of them are laughing. Some of them are clearly in deep conversation.
Gavan will go to the soup pot and get a bowl,
Mhm.
and then join some of the workers who are sitting and chatting.
All right, so you are served a vegetable soup. It's a lot of like hearty vegetables too. Like there's potatoes and such in there, so you'll get full.
Makes sense.
And as the workers are talking and you come and sit down, they look over to you and go, "Oh, you're not from here."
No, I am new to the area, as it were.
Oh, you chose a hell of a time to come over.
Is this not a common happening, I take it?
You're funny, buddy. You're funny. Last time Ithun got sieged, our lord wasn't even a twinkle in his father's eye, if you catch my drift.
Ah, from the ancestors.
Yeah, sure.
I apologize. This language is still new to me.
Well, but yeah, sure, buddy. From a foreign country or something?
In a matter of speaking, I've been an itinerant for many a year.
They're all just kind of blinking and go, "Are you a noble? What the fuck are you doing out here?"
Gavan shrugs. I was at one time what you would consider nobility in this nation, but that was as a lifetime and a few continents ago.
Oh, I get it. You're a disgraced brat. Got it.
Oh, were it that simple. Sadly, my house no longer exists, nor the nation it served.
Oof, that's a rough one, buddy.
It was at first, I will admit, but I have come to appreciate the simple life it has given me now.
Hey, you know what? You're taking it all in stride. And one of the men pats you on the back and goes, "It's not often you meet, nobles who lost their homes. At least not so
Well, then-
down to earth."
What are the nobles here who serve Ithun? Are they good lords and masters?
They do that thing where they're kind of like side to side, like, "He's not bad. It's not great." And one of them just goes, "It's kind of a greedy prick. Look at how much he charges for tolls and, entrance to the town. And then the guild fee here is so much higher than it is anywhere else."
I see. Tell me, I realize this may be a sore subject for some of you, but when the attack came, did any of you notice anything unusual about it? I realize you said this town was not attacked often, but it seemed like this was unusually targeted.
Not sure what you mean by that, buddy. Town was attacked.
This is a walled city, is it not?
Yeah. It's also the border of Kennox
Yes.
and
but
Idenhall.
I thought you said quarter of Kellogg.
my concern is how did they get inside the walls so quickly?
You see how many of them there was? Of course they got in the walls quickly.
I'm sorry to say I did not get a good look at their phone number.
Well, I mean, they were basically being, like, as many of them as possible were being kept outside of the town by the town guard, but when you're met with a force of triple to quadruple what you got, people are gonna get in.
Devon nods and takes a few slurps of his soup. The guards at least were able to drive them off, which is the important thing.
You know, I heard the guards didn't actually drive them off at all. I heard that this attack was just a, like, pass along a message.
That in and of itself is disturbing.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. The casualties on the guard side were super low, even for how many how many were fighting. It says they only got away with, I don't know, 10, 20 deaths of the guards. A lot more of the civilians, but that's a low number of guards going dead.
I apologize for my ignorance, as I'm not familiar with the politics of this area. Who would have reason to send such a pointed message?
I mean, Idenhall used to always attack the northern nation before they were claimed by the religion. Yeah, up until Andel took over the kingdom, they were constantly under attack by Idenhall. But I mean, Theria was a weak continent or a weak country anyway, so who knows? That's who I'd bet on.
Devon looks down his soup in thought for a few moments, then nods. I see. That would make sense if it is a neighbor known for their aggression.
Well, I mean, they're a very militaristic country. Hell, they even have manual service. They have an entire currency based around merit with serving for the army. They say that their merit coins are worth 2 imperial coins a pop.
Devon arches an eyebrow at that, but declines to comment directly. And what of Kennox's own history?
What you mean?
Well, I'm not familiar with this land very well, and I'm curious as to what traditions the people of Kennox hold to. Idenhall is one of military traditions. What is Kennox's?
They all start kind of laughing, and one of them leans over and quietly is just like, "You really want to know what Kennox's biggest tradition is?"
Devon will nod. Sincerely.
Looks around, like, you notice a slight worry on their face as they look around for a moment, then they lean in, they go, "Kennox is all about enforcing a caste system. There are the lower class, there are the upper class, and then there are the nobles. And if you aren't in that top two, you are trash. That's why there's a civil war going on with the South. They have nothing. The haves and the have-nots."
Devon nods in thought, and after a few moments, he'll change the subject to about the rebuilding effort and what other work they need to do.
They very quickly just go into, like, how a lot of it's confirming foundation, like if foundations are something they can work with, or if they have to completely demolish and rebuild houses. A few of the people talk about their own houses and how they surveyed the structural damage and where it stands. They seem very like, these guys are all very well versed in the construction. You can tell these weren't just like random helpers. These are people who have spent time in this area.
Gavana is going to listen very attentively to how they describe their work.
There's
just their ethic with it.
You said their ethic?
Yeah, like they sound like enthusiastic about what they do, or
a few of them. A few of them are definitely on the enthusiastic side. A few of them are kind of like, ugh, gotta rebuild the house. Gotta, the husband's gonna be an asshole about me having to remodel the kitchen. They're gonna make sure I have to do it their way, or, oh god, I gotta make sure that I rebuild my wife's study to exactly how she likes it, just because I want to make her happy. They're all like complaining. Some of them are complaining jokingly. One dude jokingly is talking about like, oh no, what am I gonna do now? I can give my wife that library she's always wanted in one of the spare rooms. Oh no. It's all, some of them are lighthearted, some of them are actually complaining, but realistically, they all seem happy to do the work. Anything to put food on the table, they say.
A pragmatic attitude.
And before you know it, bell is rung and they start getting back up to get to work.
Gavon will finish up the last of his soup and join them.
All right. Gavon is very quickly put to work with, like, instead of hauling bricks now from, like, point A to point B just to have them in a better spot, now people are basically using you as a gopher because they don't know what kind of construction experience you have. So it's basically like, hey, go for some bricks over there, bring them back here, make sure you're carrying some mortar with you, we need that. We're gonna need some timber, get us a piece that's this by this, yada yada yada. And like they're putting you to work with just manual labor of carrying and moving stuff.
And Gavon will do so without complaint, keeping his eyes and ears open the entire time.
A lot of talk goes on during work still. It's a lot of the joking that was happening before, people talking about gamble. There seems to be a gambling pool based on adventurers and how many missions, if they're gonna succeed or fail missions. A
We're at the
lot of
bottom.
y'all don't. Your names don't even come up. You guys are too new. They don't know you.
Oh, so nobody's betting on me.
But you guys are, but you're walking around. You're listening as best you can. Roll me in insight. Roll me a double insight.
1 second, and I will do something. Just writing some notes quickly.
All right.
Where's my insight again? My insight is, I can't even read that sheet. Look at my sheet. Insight is a 6. I need 2 6s.
Wait, you said your insight is only a D6?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I think mine isn't any higher either.
That's an 8.
All right. So with your 8, again, a lot of people just talking about, the work and such like that. Nothing really catches your ear. Some people are talking about the civil war going on in Kennock still, but before you can pick up anything good, someone comes by and is just like, shh, focus on your work. You don't need to be talking about that right now. Nobody wants to hear about it.
Alright. And Gavon will just keep helping them until they have no further use for his assistance.
All right, so you're going to be helping out the rest of the day.
And the rest of the week.
hoping to find something useful among the information.
Then we will come back to you before the end of your shift.
Sounds good.
for now, we're going back a little bit. So, Van,
Yeah.
the current noble lord sits at a desk across from you.
Yep.
And as he's about to say something, the door opens and that guard that was sent out before, Garrick, comes back in holding something in his hand. And he places what appears to be a small shield, like you would see on the chest plate of a full suit of armor.
Yeah.
And he reaches down and he picks it up and he looks at it. And he's just glaring at you. All right, boy. So you have no idea who these people are, but they know you.
As I've said, I can't remember anything beyond the last year. Maybe I knew them before then.
Well, then we can put you to use. Guards, arrest him. And the guards start to close in on you.
Are you sure that's what you want to do?
Well, clearly they know you, right?
Clearly.
So I have no
But-
reason to believe you aren't a comrade of theirs.
Well, you can attest with my comrades that we fought against them. I certainly have no idea who they are.
Well, I mean, if you want me to test your comrades, I'm going to need them as well.
Well, they're probably helping your people right now.
What are their names?
Who was it?
Look at the bottom of the stream.
No, I'm actually in character right now.
He starts tapping his fingers and goes, "You don't know your own companions' names?"
I wasn't really in the right of mind until yesterday.
How convenient.
I would not say it's convenience. And then from there, that's when I guess that's when Autumn the fairy would get frustrated and pop out from Rex's head.
Guard, seize the fairy.
Whoa. Rex grabs Autumn and says, "No, you cannot have my friend. I doubt you would want to make an enemy of the fairies of the Red Forest."
The guards who were about to dive at you stop immediately. And Lord Reveth just kind of stares at you. Wait, you mean the fairies of the Red Forest are all real? This isn't just a one-of-a-kind fairy?
They all live in the forest. I haven't met all of them.
Fairy, you look like you're about to say something. Speak.
And Autumn, kind of pokes up again after being shoved down by Rex's hand. Says, "Rex is a good boy. Rex would not take part in fighting these with these miscreants and lighting fire to your buildings. I've known Rex for a year. Rex is good."
Sabet stands up, turning his back to you, his hands doing that noble thing where they're being like he's holding his own hand behind his back and just kind of staring in the distance. I once had a war buddy. I knew him for 4 years. We had fought through thick and thin. Without him, I don't think I would have lived to see the day where I ascended to Lord of this town. 5 days after I had ascended to my position, he had tried to kill me. He had been found trying to break into my room that night with a sword. He had a note on him that was a clear call for justice for the south of Kennox, an area I do not fight in, an area where, if I have soldiers, they have been collected by the queen herself. This man was one of my closest friends, and he tried to kill me. Sabet then turns, his face still very stern. I do not know you, little fairy. But just because you've known this man for 1 year, this boy, for 1 year, does not mean you know what he is or is capable of. Now, what are your companions' names?
I can tell you what they look like. I don't have a full grasp on their
Good
names,
enough.
titles.
You,
So
pay
he just-
attention, and he points to one of the other guards.
And essentially, he gives he's going to be more vague with Alessandra, but he is going to give Gavant's description. He's going to give like Alessandra's hair color and like general height, but he is going to describe Gavant's armor and Gavant's hair color, Gavant's exact height, just about. Because at this point, he's like, well, you know what? Gavant could probably handle this stuff.
Sabet looks to the guard and goes, just find the first man, have him find the rest. And the guard just nods and walks out of the room. Now then, I need you to understand something. I have to be very wary of who you say you are and what you say you can do. I have to be wary of the fact that you first decided to tell me that they know you, which means that I have to plan that you are working with them. Do you understand, child?
I understand the, I would say, necessary paranoia that comes with a position of high authority.
Especially after my town was sieged by an unknown assailant.
I certainly wouldn't want to see anything destroyed or burned, especially given how easy it would be to burn my home.
That is true. The Red Forest would be easily burned if not for the protection it has on it. Monarch of the Demons. You do not play a fucking game with them.
I'm just going to make a quick roll just for my role playing
Yeah, go
thing.
ahead.
Although I need to figure out what role it should be. I think it's probably going to be make more insight, which is 2d6s.
I would
So
say
we'll see what happens.
either double insight or maybe double willpower, depending on what specifically you're doing. But
I'm trying to see if that tinges anything in the brain, so I'm going with insight.
yeah, insight would be fine.
So with a 9, I don't think it does anything significant, but there is some familiarity. Just nothing that would cause an alarm.
And after a couple of minutes, the door is flung open, and the guild clerk who had given you the cookie this morning runs in and goes, "I'm so sorry, my lord. I promise you, this boy is innocent. He is a sweet and innocent boy." And the noble cocks an eyebrow. What? You have a guild clerk speaking for you? Is she one of your companions?
Well, I would say companions, but I mean, I think I'd like to think of us as friends.
The guild clerk, you can tell there's a moment of like excitement because yay, friend. But then this worry of like, we are still staring down the lord of this town.
Rex does like look back at her, smile, and does a little wave before he looks back at the.
The hell is Rex into?
just all the confidence in the world right now.
So with Rex's description, something interesting is going to happen. Alessandra, as
Mhm.
you are doing, as you're committing to a surgery, one of the nurses is going to run over to you and go, there's a situation outside. They need you. Skedaddle.
Very well. I look back at my would-be patient and make sure that at least someone is picking up where I left off.
Oh, the woman dismissing you immediately starts. I'm going to say this phrase because it just made me chuckle a little bit in the dark humorist way. The woman starts digging in immediately after pushing you aside.
Ah, very well.
Woman brought a shovel.
Oh. Doctors are undertakers here.
Yeah, a little column
Little bit of A, a little bit of B.
a little bit of column C too. Just don't ask me what C
a
is.
secret third thing.
What you don't know is that the ambulance doubles as a hearse.
It also doubles as pizza delivery service, but we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, so as soon as you get outside, there are 3 guards who look very cross, and they're like, "Ma'am, you're gonna have to come with us.
What's all this about?
We will explain to you when we get where we're going. Where are your 2 giant armored companions?"
Armored giant? Well, I wouldn't exactly call him a giant, but I know one of them was going to help with the rebuilding effort.
So he could be anywhere. Great. What about the other one? You haven't seen a Kaikio. You haven't seen a Kaikio since y'all went into the town hall.
Yeah, where? Come to think of it, I'm not sure where the other one went. We had breakfast and then immediately went to get to work.
Well, that's not worrisome. Come on, let's go. We'll send search parties out to the various building sites. And they, not very nicely, do that police arm grab and start bringing you to the central building. You are basically thrown into the room that Rex is sitting in, as there's a guild clerk currently trying to put herself between him and this very noble, regal, and stern-looking man, who looks back and goes, "Wait, so hold on, you all got a description of a very large man that was very intricate. You got a vague description of a woman, and you found the woman. I'm almost impressed. There are several layers here." And they go, "Well, one of the big guys is doing construction, so he could be anywhere in town. We're still looking for him, and the other one, nobody knows. Nobody knows, eh?" And he glances down to Rex.
Rex shrugs and says, "Well, I told you what they look like. We've been in here for a while. They could have gone anywhere."
Got it.
He also gives like a little half wave to Alessandra. Still sitting super proper, and he does have sleeves this time. He has sleeves.
I just give that disapproving look toward the child. What have you done? You know that look that every mother kind of knows how to do by instinct.
I was gonna make the joke of seeing that look. He looks to you and goes, "Are you the child's mother?"
Unfortunately not. However, I have been aware of his shenanigans, and as he has traveled with me from the north.
From the north. Okay. So tell me what it is you're doing here. Let's start there.
Well, I am in service to a noble lady of Endel, and she has bid me go and see more of the world, since I am a cantoress in training, and she is the mistress of my apprenticeship. She found out that I am not very well traveled outside the Empire, and so bid me go and help where needed, as I was doing to help your citizens heal from this recent attack before your men informed me that I was needed here.
Let me get this straight. You are in service to a noble of Andel?
Yes, my lord.
The man is just slowly nodding. Mm-hmm. Okay. And he looks to the guild clerk, who looks like she is regretting her life decisions to this point. He says, I will be right back. If I come into this room and any of the four of you, and he glares at Rex's hands, which I'm assuming are kind of trying to hide Autumn away a little bit.
Okay, he's kind of just holding her so that so they won't be able to attack her without getting through him.
But he's like glaring where you have her. Is the four of you better stay in this room. If I come back and any of you is missing, I'm sentencing all of you to execution. Is that clear?
I currently have nowhere else to go.
You, ma'am?
I understand, as long as the people do not suffer unduly by my absence.
Let me explain something to you. And he moves very quickly around the desk, approaching you. You were helping them out. I'm assuming, based off of your information of being in service to a lady of Andel, you are a healer of some kind?
Yes, my lord. If you are familiar, I am a student of resonant magic from the Empire across the sea.
I
As
want to hear
part
no
of my
more about that empire. I know that one, and I do not like for it. I care for it very little, in fact. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It's a little piece of advice that many field medics have learned under my tutelage. If you, being absent, makes a situation worse, then everybody who surrounded you needs more training. Especially if you are one of 20 who are doing that job. Is that clear?
I understand, and as an apprentice, I thank you for your wisdom.
You are lucky that you and your friend, or child, or whatever he is to you, are very kind. If any of you were giving me attitude, you would be in jail right now. Now you are going to all stay here. I'm going to check on the town. I'm going to talk to my citizens. I'm going to see what we know. I'm going to see if I can find your two big friends. Is that clear?
Yes, my lord.
Good. And he walks out. More storms out with the door is slammed shut so hard that you kind of jump a little bit. one of the guards walks over to you and says, "You're from that empire that specializes in, like, musical magic, right?"
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm actually a big fan. I've met a few people from there. They've been really cool. And you notice a couple of guards like kind of glaring at him as he's just speaking so flippantly. But he seems genuinely trying to like make you comfortable.
I knew our order's reputation had spread far, but my lady had informed me that it was perhaps not as well known this far east
Well, I mean,
as I'd be used to.
I'm directly in service to a noble. Nobles do, pilgrimages and diplomatic missions kind of all over the place. So,
Mm.
plus a lot of them pass through here to get to Canox. So we meet all manner of folk on their way to see the queen. It's kind of a privilege of being, noble guard.
Mm. Ah, of course. Of course.
That's really cool. At some point I'd love to hear your music. Not now, obviously. I don't think the boss man would be very happy.
Unfortunately, I think you have the right of it. Plus, I do have to admit I must rest a little. The strain of healing so many of your fellow citizens has taken a toll.
Yeah, that tracks. Unfortunately, please get some rest a little bit. You need water? Do you want water? I can get someone to get you water.
Oh.
And another guard just walks over and slaps him in the back of the head and goes, "Dude, stop! You can't be giving the prisoners anything. They are prisoners until the Lord says otherwise." It's like, he's like, no. They have to wait. Look, I don't want to make them wait, but they have to wait for them to get water or anything.
I want to look around the room at all the guards. I'm not leaving my chair. I'm just going to look at all the guards.
So a few of the guards seem extremely annoyed. A few of them are kind of like, "Oh, whatever, it's fucking guard duty." A couple of them, like, as soon as the Lord stormed out, just very much, released a lot of tension, just kind of leaning back and just like, ah. There's the one guard by the door who still has the hard ass expression of like, "You can try and get past me, it won't go well." You feel there's a reason he's at that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get a feel for whether or not anybody was acting out of place for a guard in this situation, which there's a description.
It's kind of hard to tell because they're kind of all over the place. You got the lax, you got the stern. It's kind of just a fucking lawless land out here, apparently.
Yeah. I might need a minute to come up with that because I was going to say something, but I need to figure out what it is.
That's fine. I'm going to give you that minute. Yoshi.
Yep.
As you know, it has been a couple of hours that you've been over here.
Yep.
And while you are currently getting someone some of the lumber that they had requested, you feel a firm hand grab your shoulder.
I turn my hand to face the hand. My head to face the hand, rather.
You raise your hand.
You see the man I had described before, with the darker skin, the black hair, with the occasional silver. Yeah. He's currently got a very aggravated face. He says, "God damn, you have been hard to find. Who'd have thunk it'd be so hard to find a man in armor? You're coming with me now. Put the lumber down."
May I finish delivering this last piece first? Very well. And I will turn and bend down and put the lumber down.
And you notice one of the foremen runs over seeing you do that, and they're like, "Hey, wait up. Oh, Hello, Lord. And the guy's like, yep, finish up for him. He's coming with me. The guy goes, you got it, boss? And just immediately starts moving the lumber. Obviously, much less than you were carrying. Like, you were maybe carrying 2 or 3 of the fucking, like, things of lumber. He's carrying 1 at a time.
May I ask why you request my presence?
Because I'm the lord of this land, and I have your companions with me. You are officially persons of interest.
May I inquire as to the crime?
You will see when we get there. Although if you can't guess, well, you're in the same boat as your other companions. Tell me, there's another one that's supposed to be with you. Where are they?
I have not seen any of my companions since breakfast when we divided ourselves to the tasks best suited to us.
I'll have my guards look for him then. For now, come with me. And he starts walking. He does that thing where like you walk with a purpose. He is very much power walking back to the main building.
Gavan will follow behind him at a respectful distance.
And as you're doing this, you're finally starting to realize that you kind of have an entourage of guards around you.
My lord, if I may,
Depends on what it is.
I see that it appears I am under arrest. Would this be correct?
I suppose it wouldn't be a lie to say yes. Or at
Would
least
you
being
like me to
detained.
disarm?
I'm not worried about it. If you attack me, my guards will kill you anyway.
Very well.
And you are led very quickly into that room that Rex and Alessandra are in, as well as the guild clerk. You notice the pennant on the wall that has the same sigil as the armor that the demons have been wearing. It's the symbol of House Reveth. And the man sits behind the desk and goes, well, bad news. We don't know where your 4th companion is. Well, 5th, I should say.
That's just a little concerning.
You have no idea how it feels for me. See, I have all of you here, so I can easily tell that if you're going to do something, you'll be under watch, but your other companion is not under watch. So I can't keep them under my thumb. So now you're going to tell me why one from the Red Forest and one from the Northern Kingdom of Andel are in my walls when we get attacked. We have not been attacked in a long time. My citizens have felt safe for a very long time. You come into town, suddenly it's not safe. Talk while you can.
Well, we all recently became adventurers. And we came to this town because we heard there was a interesting job to take. At least that's why I got here. So I can't exactly speak for the others. And as I told you, I'm still looking for my lost memories, which is how I became acquainted with the others. Albeit in a different state of mind.
So let me ask this. You can guarantee you do not associate with those that attacked us. I need to know this.
I can say that when I met the ones that recognized me, there was definitely some disdain, to say the least, about my appearance there. I don't know whether they hate me, whether they're surprised to see me, but it was not entirely welcome for with my presence.
And what of the other two of you? I'm going to assume that the fairy is siding with him on the sense of what they were doing here. Can you guarantee that you do not work with the enemy?
Yes, my lord. I can guarantee this, and I respectfully show the scorch marks that had been on my robes that had been sustained in the battle.
And you, big man?
I am neither of Ando nor of these redwoods you speak of. Do you
What?
still wish my opinion?
I want to know where you're from then, because you are not from Kenox.
No, I am not. The land I am from is across the vast seas and has been dead many a year.
And what kingdom is that?
Angarad.
You liar. And the man
I can provide evidence.
provide it then.
He carefully unfolds the wrapping the Guildmaster previously given him to hide his knightly seals of Angarad.
So, Sabet is currently like licking his lips and kind of looking down to you, thinking his next move before he says, "All right, then let me ask you this. I've been in the library of Phaedron. I know that those symbols are there. Why should I not believe you've also been there?"
I have not. In fact, that is where I am traveling to, is my destination. I swear upon the last house of Grawl, and upon the last of the Tempest Knights of whose axe I carry, that that is the truth.
Present your axe. I want to see it.
He very, very slowly flicks the switch axe off of its hook on his back and presents it to the Lord across both his palms, palms open.
Guard, bring
No.
it here.
I was thinking that a guard would try to pick it up and like immediately fall from the weight.
A guard is going to come over and take it the same way, to put it on the desk in front of Lord Sabet.
I was just
Before
imagining one of
you
those anime
lays
scenes.
one Gomiant.
What was that, Yosh?
I said, before you lays one Gomiant.
Okay. And he's currently like leaning down and inspecting it. And you said what noble house?
Growl.
Hmm. Now let's say I believe you. Let's say I choose to believe that you guys are not conscripted by the enemy. We have a child of the Red Forest, a lady of two holy kingdoms, and a man of times long gone. I don't exactly think you belong in Kenox. I don't quite think I should let you free, because you are currently a threat. One of my guards has filled me in on something interesting when I was out looking for you. They had mentioned how they had seen you with the enemy, letting them leave. Why?
Because they offered parley.
And you, strangers of this land, decided to speak for it?
I spoke
I
only for myself and my companion who fought one of their commanders.
was not present.
The only two present were you, and he points to the big man, or to Gavon, and your other friend with the red hair and the black armor.
Yes, that is correct. The man we fought identified himself as Dutol Vixen. His companion, who offered us parley and our lives, identified himself as Gilfor. He failed to provide a familial or surname.
So I understand that Guilford did not give a name. But what did you say this Dartol's name was?
The name he gave was Vixen. I cannot say if it is truly his name, merely the name he gave us.
And he puts a piece of paper down. Spell it out for me, as best you can.
The spelling I have is DUR apostrophe TOL, and the last name VIXEIN.
Okay. I need you to go run this name across a couple of individuals who know what I need to know. And the guard just nods his head and goes, "Yep, I'll go talk to them." And starts walking out. And the Lord just turns to another guard and just make sure when he's back he does plenty of extra work. He's been getting too flippant lately. And the guard just salutes and goes, "You got it, boss." And the Lord turns to him and he goes, "I'm sorry, Lord. You've got it. I'll make sure that he is whipped into shape." Now then, listen here. I'm going to tell you all something very important. I don't trust any of you. I don't even trust you. And he looks at the guild clerk, who looks like she's about to cry. She's like, I've been living here my whole life. And he's like, I have no reason to trust you since you are so willingly associated with these individuals. However, I'm going to choose, for now, to believe your story. However, and he places his hand over Gavon's weapon, I'm going to keep this as collateral until I get confirmation. I would also like collateral from the rest of you. The fairy doesn't need to give collateral, but the boy does.
Well, who is it? I have to give you some. I have to message you, I guess, because Rex pulls this sword that he's been carrying on his back that has been wrapped in a chain. And he pulls it off his back and holds it out to the Lord and says, "Well, this is the only thing I own other than the clothes on my back. I have to send this to you."
That's fine. So, you place the sword on the desk.
And then I go back to sitting down as I was.
Yeah. Currently, he just watches as you put the sword there, looks immediately to Alessandra and the guild clerk.
Alessandra slowly takes the baton off of its holder and offers it to the Lord's guards as my companions see fit to offer their most prized his tools. So too, here is the focus of my power. I shall merely need to rely on traditional healing technique, the non-magical, should I again serve your population.
The guard takes it, nodding their head, and goes, "I'm sorry. I'm really sorry." And the Lord, like, you could tell the Lord hears him and is glaring at him, but chooses not to respond.
Alessandra has a fanboy.
The guard then heads over to the clerk, who removes a locket and gives it to him and says, "This is kind of all I've got left. It's not just straight up money." And he's like, "That's fine, that's fine." And the guard puts everything on the desk and is looking down at the items and seems to freeze looking down at this collection of stuff. The Lord looks at him and goes, You're free to return to your post." "Hello? Are you there?" And the guard just is unmoving for a moment before slowly looking up and pointing down at the sword very shakily. And the Lord walks over and looks at the sword and then just glares at Rex.
And Rex is just going to cock one eyebrow because he has no idea what's going on.
I'm going to ask you again, boy. Where are you from? Who are you?
As far as I know, I'm from the Red Forest. That's as far back as my mind goes.
Where did you get this sword?
It was the only thing I had on me when my faithful companion and best friend, as he holds up Autumn, when she found me. And Autumn nods frantically.
And he's kind of looking around the room as if there are zero words that fits what he wants to say. Child, I'm going to be very blunt with you. I want you out of my goddamn town. I want you gone as soon as possible. What will it take when you have been cleared to get you the fuck out?
All I'm looking for is a lead
On.
on whoever causes the attack, as they seem to have some connection to my past. It seems like they're either framing you or they're someone who works under you. So that your place is the first place I could think of to find a lead.
Give me 1 second. And he turns and he just punches one of the guards across the face. He starts shaking his hand and goes, "Okay, much better. Make sure that man is well compensated and healed, please." And one of the other guards just walks over, nudges the guy, and then just kind of does the thing where he pulls him up over his shoulder with the one arm and starts walking back and goes, "I will do my best, sir. I thank you for not choosing me." And just drags him out of the room. Okay. Okay. Well, I can promise you I have nothing to do with the attack. Because I have nothing to gain from attacking my own people. I would suggest Head to Phaedron. Phaedron may have information. I can tell you that the men who have been attacking, at least attacked us, were not themselves. They've clearly been altered some way. Phaedron, the library, may have archives that will allow you to find a similar ritual or spell that would have the effects relevant to what has occurred. I want you out of my town. As soon as your names are cleared, I want you gone.
Well, as soon as everything here is cleared, I feel like I have my next destination. I can't speak for the others.
Well, they're your companions. I want them gone too. And the guild clerk looks so sad and he goes, "You can stay. You're one of the guild clerks. I just, once everything clears, you can stay. It's them I want out because they are new to the town. I don't feel comfortable having you here because you are their companion, but you have, quite frankly, I do not believe that you will have adventuring skills." And she just nods her head furiously like, "I've never left town."
If it helps, I only met her yesterday.
Okay. Okay. I need to go get some fresh air. And he just he speed walks out. And like even the guard that's by the door is almost caught off guard by him rushing out. It's like One of the guards walks over to look down at the desk to see if he can figure out what's got the Lord so rattled. And just kind of looks up in shock and just goes back to his post and says nothing.
I mean, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm still as confident as I have been the entire time.
After about 30 minutes, a guard comes in and looks at all of you and says, "Okay, so here's the plan now. Because it's going to take a little time to corroborate your stories. We're going to be bringing you back to the inn. You are not to leave the inn without our permission. Got it?"
As long as there is sustenance, and I should be fine.
You are free to go down and get food as much as you want. But you cannot walk out that front door. There will be guards posted at every corner of the inn. We'll know if you leave. Don't do anything stupid, please. And the guild clerk raises her hand. It's like, what about me? He's like, "A room has been prepared at the inn for you as well. Unfortunately, you are wrapped up in all of this." And she just like looks so sad and just like, "Okay." He leans in and, "Rex, you're close enough. I don't know if anyone else wants to be, but Rex, you are close enough to her because she hasn't really moved from your side that you hear when he leans in and goes, 'This is why you don't involve yourself in strangers, you idiot. Just next time, just leave it be. Just leave it be. The problem would have sorted itself out anyway.'"
Well, Rex is gonna pretend he didn't hear that, but he's also gonna reach up and like give the guild person like head pats.
He's like standing on like the top of the chair, giving her head pats, and she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
thank you." And you are all returned to the inn, and it's upon entering Rex's room that you actually see a letter. It is labeled to Rex, Gavon, and Alessandra.
Gavon picks up the letter and uses his boot knife to cut open the top of the envelope.
All right, so opening it up is a handwritten letter. And it just says, to my recent companions, I have been informed that there is something I must do in my home kingdom of Necropolis. I've begun my journey there, and unfortunately, I do not know when I will return. Should our paths meet, I am more than happy to... Well, should our paths meet, I am willing to join in our cause, but I must protect my home at all costs. I'm sure you understand. Akaikios. P.S. Gavon, use my money if you need it.
Gavon reads the letter aloud to the other two.
Oh, that's certainly... That puts a wrench in... I can't even say a wrench. What would be another word?
Like,
Puts a bend in things.
that works.
I-
So that's it. Akaikios just gets to go out scot-free while we're locked up here.
The guild clerk chimes in and goes, I mean, if you think about it, he'd technically be considered a runaway, so as long as he doesn't return in the next, however long the investigation takes, he'll be fine, but he's technically exiled till then.
Well, apologies,
Gavon looks
everyone.
at the letter and then looks at Alessandra. Duty is never free.
Plus, wait, did you say he was from Necropolis?
Gavon nods.
Yeah, no, let him go. Let him go. If they need him, let him go. You don't want to get in the way of that service.
Definitely sounds like another tangled web that we don't have the capacity to take part in as of yet.
And
Gavon folds up the letter and puts it into his belt pouch.
Mhm. So, this is going to be me stepping things back a little bit. As you all are going to be getting settled into the inn for, I'm going to be honest, the next 2 days. We are going to kind of change scene a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There are many individuals, each of which wearing tattered armor and very lackluster weapons. Swords with very little edge, axes where the shaft is clearly cracked, spears where the spearhead is long gone. It's almost just a pointed stick at this point. And standing before them is a woman with red skin and deep purple eyes. People of Canucks, this is enough. For too long, you have been trodden on for simply being born where there is not. They think that we thrive solely on handouts, but instead we thrive on our effort and our tenacity. They of the North choose for us to be losers, for us to be those who will never amount. But to that I say nay. We are those who do not quit. We are those who rise. As our Lord demands, we will take the North. We will rebuild this kingdom. That foolish queen will have naught against us. We will not be defeated. We will not give in. And she licks her lips for a moment. And as she is addressing this crowd, there are various low energy cheers as people are so clearly stressed.
Just
Like kind of like a yeah.
woo.
For too long, Lavas Duro has made it clear where her priorities lie. Not with the people, but with the money. With those who don't deserve what they have. It has been too long, and that is enough. Stand with us as we begin to overthrow this tyrant. Our Lord Gilfer will bring us justice, and we
Oh,
will
there's that name again.
make Canucks work. We will spread the wealth as it belongs. And the crowd goes from those very low energy, yeah, to a steady war chant. The banging of sword and axe against armor as the armor glows a faint red. And these individuals' eyes begin to get a purple glow. The war chant getting louder and louder as the screen fades to black. Everybody gain a Fabula point. And that is how we're going to end session. I hope everybody enjoyed.
I have 8 Fabula points, right?
I have 9.
And we level up.
Yep, everyone's gonna level up, so make sure you level. Yosh, what level should everyone be again? 9.
9.
So everyone,
'Cause I need to
make
gain 2
sure.
levels.
Yeah, so everyone, make sure you you get to level 9, because that is vital at this point. Dusty, we're gonna stop the music you're playing because at this point, I want a little something different.
I will say I was trying so hard not to get into combat for you.
I so appreciate that. I had a feeling there was this moment of like I could just start fighting guards.
I could. There was so quickly. I was like, I could totally just like at least paralyze somebody right now.
Oh, God.
I'm very thankful you didn't, because that would have would definitely have made things a little harder. Picking a fight with all of those guards.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we're gonna. But I hope everybody had fun. So Van, from what I've come to understand, we're not streaming Baldur's Gate tomorrow, right?
Yeah. No. There's. Yeah. No. I can't make it.
Okay. So I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Might be more Digimon. Might do. I might do more Potion Permit since I did Digimon yesterday. I'll figure it out. I'll throw it in the Discord. Y'all know that. But thank you everybody so much for watching. This is such a fun thing to do, and hopefully we'll be getting back to the every other week. I know we have been very off due to the holidays, but with that, we're going to be getting back into it all. Everyone, thank you so much for watching, and it has been a lot of fun. Make sure you follow everybody. We've got Yoshi from twitch.tv/Ophilus. We've got Swifty from twitch.tv/SwiftCrescendo. And we've got Van from twitch.tv/VenturaV. Make sure you follow on
Yep.
YouTube for the Twitch recaps, and I will see you all in the next stream. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and yeah, have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Bye.
Ah.